Hi there, it's Thursday. Tanya from Botanical page. And yes, we're running another live this week and we've switched it up a bit from the gut health. We'll alternate those things as we go along. And because lives do take a little bit of time to go through on Facebook, I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes before we start tackling today's subject of beauty hacks and how to incorporate essential oils. And specifically, I'll be talking about testimonials from my side to sort of highlight to you which oils worked and which ones just didn't for me. So yeah, welcome to today's live. I'm just going to give it a couple of extra minutes for people to log on. And as they do that, if you could perhaps just say hi, send some hearts, likes, show me some love, and also always a good thing to just write in the comments where you're from, where you're based, why you're interested in essential oils. It's good to get to know each other and sort of see who else you can reach out to in our essential oil community. So if you've just joined, welcome. It's Thursday. So we are going to do a live today about beauty hacks, specifically my beauty hacks. A lot of stuff that I've researched online and in books and all kinds of things. So yeah, if you've just joined in, fantastic. Hi. Robert's also in. Hi, Robert. Hope you're well. Please just put in the comments where you guys are logging in from so we can get to know each other in our essential oil community group a little bit better. So yeah, pop in that comment and just say perhaps where you're from and how you became interested in natural health or how you became interested in essential oils. All those are really good things to see people's comments of so that you know whether you want to connect with them or not. We are living in a very digital world, so it makes it really easy to see who you want to befriend. I mean, it's like amazing, really, if you think about it. So let's kick straight off with beauty hacks today. I'm going to talk more out of my testimonial and experience side. I'll mention the science here and there, obviously, because it's my thing. I like doing the sciencey thing, but I'm not going to make it very heavy science-based today. Oh, wow, Victoria's hi. How are you? I think she's all the way from the UK, so we've got a nice audience again in today. Thank you so much for attending my live. So, beauty hacks. I'm going to actually talk about quite a few things today. I'm not going to go into very much detail. I think we can go into detail in future. Yes, all those hearts coming up. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Feel loved. At least my education is bringing some extra love because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I will actually be mentioning some good oils to spice up the love life as well. So let's kick it off. All right. The first thing that I reach for on every single day in my daily wellness routine is one of my favorites, and it's called frankincense. So yay. Ooh, even more people coming in from Cape Town and everywhere. So yeah, thank you. Brilliant. Let's see how fast we can get them going in there. So my favorite top oil, specifically for things like skincare, is frankincense. And as we go through all my testimonials today and things that work and things that didn't work so well, if you're thinking beauty hacks, we're obviously thinking skin, things that people can see. So skin, teeth, perhaps hair, nails, skin blemishes. Oh, there's even people from Potch coming in. Fantastic. Marty from Heidelberg. Oh, and Yolani from Roodepoort. Hello, welcome. Thank you for coming. So basically, things like bruises. I walk into my bed quite often because it's one of those Japanese beds, right? It's got one of those beautiful wooden thing on the outside, but oh my goodness. When the light is switched off at night and I can't see because I'm a little bit night blind and I walk into that thing smack bang, I'm going to teach you today which essential oils to reach out for as quickly as you can because it won't even bruise that badly. I'm a bruiser. They actually say that O positive people have got something in their blood or a lack of something in their blood. So our blood is in general thinner, which also means that we do bruise a lot easier because the blood escapes the veins quite easily when you hit yourself or when you walk into a bed full speed like I do sometimes. Okay, so we'll address some of those things today. So first thing, let's start at the top. Okay. So Tanya's beauty hacks for hair health. So obviously there are quite a few essential oils that are really good for hair health. Why? Because number one, they're going to be antibacterial or antifungal. If you think things like, when you got those white scales on your head, those are actually caused by a fungus which eats the sebum on your head, and you'll find people with that kind of condition, they're just more prone to skin sensitization. Oh my word, that was a tongue twister. But basically, these people tend to have to wash their hair more often because they've got to get the sebum off. And basically what happens is it's the fungus chowing the sebum. In other words, the juices that come from your head, basically, the waxy layer. There's no other easy way or layman way to describe it. And basically the fungus eats that. And if you are then oversensitive to that skin fungus, that's usually when you get all those white little flakes. Okay, so adding things to your shampoo like tea tree and rosemary, because they are so antimicrobial and antifungal, are really going to assist you. Besides that, rosemary is really awesome because it's one of the best oils for any hair type, regardless whether you've got oily hair, thin hair, thick hair, coarse hair, split-ended hair. Rosemary is one of those do-it-all all-rounders, and it's really good for hair growth as well. So if you're going down that hormonal route where a lot of, especially women for some reason, start to lose a lot of hair when they go older, and it's like in patches, add a drop of rosemary, and you can either massage it into your scalp with a carrier oil before you wash, or add a drop or two. If you've got a lot of long hair, I would say at least 2 to 3 drops of a very good essential oil, rosemary, into your shampoo, and make sure that you're working that foam really nicely into the scalp, because that means that the rosemary is actually going to get to the skin area where it needs to stimulate hair growth. Okay, so there we go. What can you add to not wash so much? Yeah, Zal, that's a tricky one, hey? That's literally getting your hair used to not being washed so often. I actually only wash my hair once, maybe maximum twice a week, depending if I've gone out. I mean, if I go out somewhere, I cannot handle cigarette smoke. So if I arrive at home and my hair smells like cigarette smoke, I need to have a shower and get it off me as soon as possible. So then obviously I do it more often. But Zal, I didn't actually add anything. I just added my normal essential oils, which I really love for hair care, which has got the antimicrobial effects in there. So tea tree and rosemary work really well. Lavender as well. Lavender is also very good at keeping the contamination or the environmental threats a little bit lower, which allows you. The thing is now, obviously, if you've got oily hair, you are going to have to probably wash your hair a little bit more often. There's some very good DIY hacks and dry shampoos out there that you can actually make with arrowroot powder that you just add some essential oils to and you just brush it through your hair. Arrowroot powder is obviously white, so if you've got a brunette head of hair like I do, obviously you can add some cocoa powder to that and just play around to get to the right tinge. And you don't need a lot at all, okay? We're not baking cakes, please. So we're just putting a little bit of arrowroot in there, and then you can brush it through and it'll take the oiliness away a bit. But my tip or hack for getting your hair used to getting washed less often, because that's actually better if you can get to that stage, because otherwise you're washing all those good oils away. Not especially, I should say, except if you have that condition with the white flakes, then it's a different situation. Then you do actually have to wash a little bit more often until you can get the problem under control by adding tea tree and those kind of things to your shampoo. But just get your hair used to it. So maybe instead of washing every single day, start getting into a routine of only washing it every second day. And I promise you, your hair is going to recondition, all right? And then obviously from there, you can try and extend it even a little bit further. Okay, but that dry shampoo is going to come really handy when you're going through that phase. So if we just look at oils that are good for hair care and what type of hair, if you've got oily hair, tea tree is a really good one to reach for. Damaged and dry hair that you can add to your shampoos and conditioners is lavender, peppermint, and rosemary. And I've just told you I add rosemary to everything. I actually make a very nice hair oil after I've washed and conditioned my hair while it's still wet. So before I'm going to let it dry. I don't like to heat treat my hair, but if you are going to go that route, we actually also have essential oils that can help with a little bit of extra heat protection. But I generally put the oil in my hair when it's still wet, otherwise it dries and it's like really oily. And carrier oils that are really good for hair care is argan oil. You really need the teeniest amount. If you're going to put in a lot, you're going to have to wash your hair again. Okay, just keep that in mind. The carrier oil is there basically to carry the essential oil all over, but to add back moisture to your hair follicles and to your hair shafts as well. So argan works really well. And things that you can add to that is peppermint, because it's very stimulating for hair growth and that kind of thing. It smells amazing every time you turn your head and the hair goes whoosh. You're going to have that beautiful fragrance. You can add ylang ylang for fragrance as well. And then basically I always add rosemary. And then if you want a little bit of additional heat protection, clary sage and geranium are really good oils to use. I've also got a very nice herbal hair spray recipe. If you want that, please go and pop your name and just ask in the comments that you would like to receive my free recipe for a herbal hair spray with none of the toxics in there that's not so great for you. Okay, and it's basically using just a couple of ingredients that you're definitely going to have at home. You might need to get some additional essential oils, but if you're watching today, it means you probably are already into essential oils, and you might have them in a stash already. Okay, so now we're going to move down. We've done the hair, right? Now we're going to go to face. So something that I add very routinely into my facial moisturizers every single day. I also make my own moisturizer so that I know there's no preservatives or toxins in there. Please note, I don't add preservatives, but it also means I keep my moisturizer in the fridge and I make sure that the quantity that I've made is finished within at least a month. Okay, it must not go over that because you can risk bacterial contamination, especially if your hands are not clean and you're putting it into the jar. So if you are looking to make your own creams at home, there's so many awesome recipes online, but I would probably advise you to add things in there that are actually going to be EcoCert approved preservatives, because you're going to actually do yourself a lot of harm if you're putting something on your face that's really contaminated. So for face care, it's your journey to go and find which oils work best for your skin type. Okay, so I've got a very dry, very sensitive skin, yet something like coconut oil gives me pimples and eczema. So, and it took me a while, you know, it's trial and error. It's R&D, just see it like that, okay? But everyone has good, you know, oils that are really good for their facial skincare routines. There's quite a few oil recipes coming out where you actually cleanse. You can cleanse your face, makeup remover, cleanse with the oil, and then it acts as a moisturizer afterwards as well, okay? And oils to look into for me, for instance, what works on my skin is jojoba. That works really well. Things like safflower oil, if you've got a more oily skin, work really well. People with really dry and very aged skins tend to work a little bit better with coconut oil. But yeah, not everyone. Okay, coconut oil can also be drying. So there's so much good information on Dr. Google. Just go and type in carrier oil for my skin type, and then literally from there you can go and just trial and test and see what you find. And then what you get is a base. I always add aloe vera to my skin cream, and the reason I do that is it actually refines pores, so it makes them smaller, okay? It's also got some, if you're using an organic one that's not heavily preserved, probably only has a little bit of citric acid in there, then you are going to deal with good beneficial microbes that come with it. That's going to help the good microbiome that's on your skin to protect it. Okay, so aloe vera is good to add in there, so aloe vera gel. It's very soothing and very moisturizing as well, specifically for sensitive skins. A lot of people do really well with baobab oil on their facial areas. Other things that are really good, let me think. Oh, rosehip oil is fantastic, right? But you only need a small quantity, and you would always mix rosehip with quite a few other oils, not rosehip on its own. It's got a very nice yellow tinge to it as well. Hopefully it doesn't go onto your pillow at night when you sleep. Okay. Oh, Catherine's just joined in. Hello. Thank you for joining. Love the hearts. Keep them coming. And remember, if you want that herbal hairspray recipe, just pop a comment in the comments below the live. Okay, so oils, essential oils for my skincare, for my moisturizer, always has frankincense in there. Why? Because it's so regenerating. It supports cellular function. It promotes healthy blood flow. We're also looking for oils that are what we call cytophylactic. Big word. It's not that bad. Basically what it means is it stimulates the generation of new cells, and it aids in preserving healthy skin. Lavender at the top of the list. That's why lavender is such a fantastic oil for minor burns, because it promotes cellular regeneration. Okay, frankincense does the same. And then basically I love adding myrrh if I have that, or sandalwood. Sandalwood is an amazing oil for skincare as well. The frankincense, by the way, is also great for fine lines and wrinkles, pigmentation. Guys, I used to suffer from hormonal pigmentation for years and years and years and years. And I tried every laser treatment and every 5, 6, 7,000 rand cream that they try and give to you at all these salons that you go to. None of them worked. None of them. I just really made myself bankrupt. And because I'm making my own skincare now, and I literally added these essential oils, you see? Frankincense is really helping there, and helichrysum. I know it's an expensive oil, but oh my goodness, is that oil worth it? Helichrysum is called immortelle, French immortelle. It's an immortelle plant which is known for making your skin look immortal. Excuse the pun there. But basically, that is one of the best oils for any kind of skincare. And it does a lot of good things for emotional well-being as well. All right. So always in my facial moisturizer is frankincense, lavender because it's anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, helichrysum, and then I alternate because I like alternating the rest of the oil. So some months I get more of one component and other months I get something of another component so that my skin doesn't get used to it. Another oil you could definitely consider putting in is basil. Basil is very good for saggy skin, and for that matter, actually you can make a really nice at-home toner from basil. So if you're growing basil in the garden, you can take maybe 2 cups full of basil and boil it in some water for 10 minutes, strain off the basil. It's now very astringent, but it's also got the anti-aging and anti-sagging effects that witch hazel also has. Now again, you're not putting in a preservative, so please know you must put this in the fridge and you're not going to be able to use it for longer than a week. Okay, and then you can up the oils in there, so you can add, for instance, say you've got acne-prone skin, little bumps and things, then you can add things like tea tree in there because that's really good for those kind of conditions, but basil as well. So those two together are going to be a really good toner. And if you've got some saggy puffy skin under the eyes, you can dilute some basil with a good carrier oil and just tap it on here. And you know, when we were younger and our moms used to tell us, don't pull the skin below your eyes, and we never listened because who thinks their mother knows anything? I'm very, very, very sad that I didn't listen to my mom, because actually that skin there is so fragile and so thin, and it really could do with you not pulling it like that when you're trying to take off your eye makeup. Okay. So those were the ones that were good for my skin health, that have really benefited my skin. So I've got less blackheads. I am also a sufferer of milia, especially if I've had quite a few months of emotional stress. So the milia is less, my blackheads are less, my pigmentation marks are non-existent unless I go and spend the entire day in the sun and I forget to put on a good natural sunscreen. Okay, but those oils, the helichrysum and the frankincense for the blemishes, are utterly amazing. Then if you feel like there's a beacon coming, you know, and I bet you there's going to be some of you that are going to get this because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Now you're stressing about it. You've put it into the universe. I don't want a zit. Please don't ever do that. Just say the zit is going to be gone tomorrow. Okay. So hormonal is down here, and you're probably going to get some here, or in the middle of your forehead where it's like a nice big beacon. If you feel that tingle, please, please, please take a drop of tea tree, good quality, very good quality, not lab-made synthetic, because then it's not going to help you anything, okay? A very good quality melaleuca or tea tree, and just put it on the spot 2 or 3 times. You'll dry out that thing that was going to develop into a beacon in absolutely no time, okay? So those were for moisturizers and the blemishes, and then obviously the toner, right? Witch hazel is a very good base for a toner. So is rose water. Again, do not buy the over flavored and perfumed stuff off the shelf. You really are just going to cause yourself more harm and probably have some skin reactions. Get a good quality organic one at a reputable, natural, good health store, and then just pop 1 or 2 or 3 different drops of essential oils in there depending on your skin type. Shake it up really well, because the essential oil is always going to float on the top, and spritz on your face. And while we are on that, maybe I can mention the oils that are good for your particular skin type. Marty loves my videos. I love that you love my videos. Thank you, Marty. That's why I do them. Awesome. So oils for your skin type: normal, lavender, geranium, ylang ylang, and rose. Okay. Sensitive skin types: Roman chamomile, lavender, geranium, frankincense, and helichrysum. Mature skins: and obviously I fall into that category now. I'd say everyone moving from 40 upwards, you can start looking at the mature, the essential oils that are good for mature skin. And because they are hydrating and geared towards cell regeneration for those fine lines and all those kind of things. So then we're looking myrrh, frankincense, geranium, helichrysum. Oily skins, cypress, and lemongrass and things like tea tree. Obviously the citrus oils do really well here as well, but I'm not going to advise you to put that into your creams in South Africa because obviously we have a lot of sun all the time, and citrus oils are photosensitive, so you cannot go into the sun within 12 hours after applying a citrus oil topically. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about those. Blemished skin, tea tree, eucalyptus, geranium, and frankincense. And then my favorite oils for dry skin, because obviously I'm dealing with a dry and a sensitive and a mature skin: myrrh, lavender, cedarwood, geranium, and sandalwood. Okay. And obviously less is more, hey? If you're working with a really good quality, very potent essential oil, you don't actually need, in that little dollop of cream you're going to put on your face on a day, one drop of a combination of all of those is actually already a very strong solution. So it's probably better to have like a little glass jar on the side, put some of your whatever facial cream that is that you're going to be using, and then make a blend of the essential oils beforehand. And there's some very good dilution tables you can find online. And just make sure, especially if you've got a sensitive skin, or a mature skin, don't ever go above a 1% solution, hey? And 1% is one drop of essential oil in a teaspoon. Okay, so that's quite potent. You can see these essential oils are really potent. All right, then let's move to teeth. So this is one of my firm favorites, and the reason for that is I used to have sensitive teeth my entire life. I used all the products that they keep on giving to you, really expensive. And guys, the day I switched over to using a natural toothpaste that does remineralize, all those kind of things, but without the fluoride in it, my teeth sensitivity went away. I've never had it again. So just food for thought. I don't know what it was in the normal commercial stuff that I used to buy that made my teeth really sensitive, but I couldn't drink hot coffees. I couldn't drink anything cold. I couldn't eat pineapple. I couldn't eat strawberries. It was like ouch. It was just really ouch. Okay, and now I've switched to the more natural ones, and how I add additional essential oils to that for good gum health, really good gum health, antimicrobial, antibacterial, and also just fresh breath. So peppermint in toothpaste, it's there for a reason. It actually kills Streptococcus mutans, which is the bacteria that colonizes your mouth the first after you've just brushed your teeth. It also makes a nice biofilm, like a nice habitat for the rest of the bacteria that cause all the gingivitis and things to live in. And peppermint kills them. So peppermint is a very good essential oil to add to your toothpaste. Clove is really good for gum health, especially if you've got a sore, abscessy, kind of almost infected tooth. Obviously, if it's infected, you need to go see a dentist, and I'm going to say good luck because I don't like them. But clove is really good because it's also very numbing. It basically takes the pain away. So use these things before you need to go and see the dentist. Okay. So clove, very good. Myrrh is a very, very good essential oil for good gum and teeth health as well. Right, PMS. Let's go insides. Okay, so now we've done outside. Before we get to the feet. PMS, if it's that time of the month, oils that are going to help you are lavender and clary sage. So perhaps pop those in your moisturizer and in your body moisturizer for the day, if it's that time of the month, because it's going to be good for your emotions and for your skin as well, because all the flower oils are really good for skincare and for skin health. All right, before we get to the Love Life one for Valentine's Day, let's go to a foot balm. Okay, so a nice do-it-yourself homemade foot balm. So basically, Melaleuca is really good is tea tree. Tea tree is really good for fungals, right? So if you add tea tree and lavender, because the tea tree can be a little bit drying, so always add lavender. Tea tree and lavender together are really good for like those things that are around your toes and little skins that come off on the side. So Ricky is asking about mouth ulcers. I'll get back to that in a second. Just remind me if I don't. Just pop in another comment and say mouth ulcers. Let's finish the feet, okay? So for your feet and your hands, tea tree and lavender essential oil are magic, okay? It's antifungal, and the lavender is really soothing, and it's going to make all those little skins on the side, especially if you're a nail biter or a skin biter. It's just going to condition them and make everything Nice. Okay, so those are good ones for that. And if you're making a foot balm for your feet, you can literally whip up some very good organic, unrefined shea butter with your carrier oils of choice. Olive oil is a really good option. And coconut oil, if you're not someone that reacts to coconut oil like I do, and you just whip all those things together, and then you add some tea tree in there, because the tea tree is, again, antifungal, and it's really good for skin health. All right, so let's go back to the mouth. So for the ulcers, cousin in Netherlands, I'm definitely going to say go and investigate tea tree. A really good one for that. Perhaps we can just get into contact after this and have a little bit of an in-depth chat about that one. Brett is saying anything for wrinkles under the eyes. Yes, those are all the oils I mentioned that I actually put into my skin cream every single day. So maybe if you just want to go and watch the rerun and recap in my YouTube channel once I've uploaded there, you'll go through that whole list. But my favorite oils for wrinkles are the ones that actually bring moisture back or hold moisture under your eyes, because a lot of the lines and wrinkles are actually, believe it or not, due to dehydration. So things that are really good for that: frankincense, lavender, myrrh. And now I'm going to name you a beauty hack. Okay, you guys all know who my favorite essential oil company is. It's not necessarily that you have to buy from them. They're just my favorite because they give me the lab results for every single batch of oil that I buy, and I like to be associated with a company that is that transparent with their essential oil results. So they've got a blend called Immortelle. And remember that French Italicum plant that I was talking about, the Helichrysum? Right, so the ingredients in this oil, it's a very, very strong oil. So you please, if you purchase this, it comes in a nice roller bottle ready to roll. But I would definitely dilute it out. So I would put it into lots of different rollers and then add some carrier oil to that. Mine, I use jojoba, which is really good for my skincare because it's more waxy. So it doesn't make my skin oily and give me pimples like coconut oil. The wax really helps for me. So I literally make what I call my eye serum, or my beauty oil, let's call it that. So I literally separate this Immortelle product from doTERRA into 3 or 4 different 10 ml rollers and add the jojoba. But this beautiful oil contains all those magical regenerative oils I've just been talking about. So for the rehydration, for the cell regeneration, for the pigmentation marks, all those things. And I'm just going to read to you the ingredients in here: frankincense, sandalwood, lavender. I'm sorry, I've got to translate because it's the scientific names that are on here, you know, the species names. So I've just got to quickly do the file 13 and get the real word. Myrrh, Helichrysum, and rose. And those are all the really, really, really amazing, quite expensive oils, actually, I should mention, because they're so difficult to actually produce for a pure quality. So this one, my top hack, if you're not going to make your own under eye cream, you could very easily do that with shea butter, because shea butter is really nice and juicy and rehydrating. Add a drop of, say, frankincense and basil for the puffiness, and the lavender in there. Keep that separate. Then obviously use a very teeny amount. Okay, you don't need a lot. It's such a small area. But if you want to go and splurge, maybe get your husband or your boyfriend to get you this for Valentine's. This is going to last you so long because you actually dilute it quite a lot. But it's a really, really beautiful oil. I use it obviously for all my... Guys, I can't even tell you these nasolabial lines, how pronounced they've become in the last couple of years. And because I'm not a Botox user or anything like that, this is my wrinkle saver. Okay, so I use this after I've put my skin cream on with all those oils, because the oils are so much stronger in here. I then just literally go and roller the dilution onto the skincare lines where I see I have lines or pigmentation marks or blemishes or whatever. Okay, so that was Immortelle. Then tomorrow is Valentine's. So get your other half to buy you this. Even if you're male, guys, it's almost like my husband drinks this stuff. I don't know, since he's been using this, we're buying we're buying quite a lot of this in a month. Remember when you're in that kind of industry, your skin gets really haggard, get dehydrated high up in the air. So this is a really, really good one to go for. But tomorrow's Valentine's. So let's talk love life. Okay. So if you are going to look to spice things up in the bedroom, you're going to make a nice diffuser blend or a skin oil. Maybe you can get someone to give you a nice massage. Maybe you're lucky that way. I don't know. Or a foot massage. Maybe you can ask them to give you a foot massage. And something that works really well for a foot massage oil is myrrh in a good carrier, because myrrh is very good for those very cracked heels, believe it or not. I add that to some of my foot massage thingies. Works really well. But to spice up the love life, we've got to think essential flowery oils that have got deep notes, and things that can increase circulation, number one, additional secretions, those kind of things. So in a diffuser, beautiful blend, think oils of ylang ylang, patchouli, because patchouli, believe it or not, is a very manly, very spicy, very heavy tone. It's beautiful. Clary sage. Clary sage actually supports good estrogen levels, so that's definitely going to be one that you need to add, especially if you're going to making some kind of body oil or lubrication oil. Geranium, because it's just such a beautiful flower, and cypress, because it increases circulation. Okay, so there's a really good blend already. Ylang ylang, clary sage, patchouli, geranium, and cypress. And if you want to spice it up a bit more to make it more manly, nutmeg and rosemary are really, really good oils to add for that as well. Fantastic. So, unless I've missed some of the comments, I'm actually just going to scroll. There were no extra. Okay, there's a couple of people asking for the hairspray. I'll send them to you as private messages. Expect a friend request from me. Please accept so I can send them to you. And then basically I'll get into contact with you, Ricky, for the ulcers. Let's just scroll down. Brilliant. And the wrinkles under the eyes, we have all handled. So thank you so much for joining today. I hope you learned something. I hope you use some of these oils in your daycare routines, because you're definitely going to see a difference. And yes, hope you all enjoy Valentine's tomorrow. And if you didn't know what gift to get, Immortelle. Or go and buy all the other essential oils, the single essential oils. And if you don't know where to buy them, obviously, please come to me. I can get them for you. Okay, so just pop me a comment at the end of this live. Thank you so much all for joining. And I will see you next week, Thursday, for my next live. Thank you. Bye-bye.